guys, how's it going? So it is March 27th, and I thought I would maybe do daily little vlogs, or maybe not every day, but like when I feel the need to talk about Mercury Retrograde and how it's affecting me. Mercury Retrograde started on Thursday, so whatever the date was then. But I've been feeling fine until today, and today I've been like super anxious. It's been overcast the past couple days, and that's made me a little depressed, which is kind of odd because I don't normally get like super depressed over this kind of weather, but for whatever reason I'm like bummed, which that might not be a Mercury Retrograde thing. But today I've been like anxious over like making sure the little details get like, I'm getting anxious over little details. There's a few little things that that happened that were going on, that I knew were going to happen today, and I felt like I was like overly anxious about them. Everything turned out fine. I'm done with work right now. Checked all my messages. Everything's fine. Like, it's no big deal. Like, it's really like a nothing thing. I just don't want to have to like, I don't want to go into the detail of it, so I can keep this short. But you know, and then I can set up memberships here, but the way the program is on the computer, there has been times when there's been slip-ups, and like, for instance, there's been times where Bob will come in and want to buy a membership, and somehow he accidentally ends up buying Jack's membership. I don't know if it's like a glitch in the system, so I was like triple checking because I signed up a few people, and I kept triple checking to make sure like the person that is in front of me is the person that's on the screen and is the person whose credit card I'm going to be using. And so it was like extra, it was dumb because I felt extra sensitive over like needing to be careful about that. So I feel like that is a Mercury retrograde thing. So today I've been like semi-bummed and like hyper anxious. So I'm hoping, like, I like went into work today just wanting to go back to bed and just like start all over again tomorrow. Do you ever have those days? I feel like that's today, and there is really like no like big reason for it other than all that I can think of, like Mercury retrograde. So there's that. I'm gonna get heading home now, but yeah. How is Mercury retrograde affecting you guys? I'm hoping this, how I'm feeling today, is going to end today, because this is crap. I had this, I remember having this same like daily anxiety back in 2015, and it was in May, I believe, when the Mercury retrograde was going on around May-ish of 2015. It was every day was like this. So I'm gonna like see if I can mentally nip that crap in the bud, because I don't want to do this for the next 3 weeks. So that's everything. Talk to you guys in a little bit. So today is the 28th. It's Wednesday, March 28th, right? I believe so. And just wanted to update you on how I'm feeling during this Mercury retrograde. And I'm feeling better than yesterday, but I still had like a touch of anxiety this morning, and I think it might be mirrored too with this weather. This weather is again overcast. It's just been raining on and off. Like, we'll have light rain and then no rain and then hard rain and then no rain and then hard rain and then light rain, and it's like you just can't, you know, you can't predict it, which is fine, you know, like I don't mind the rain, but for whatever reason I just feel like doom and gloom. I should take some vitamin D. I feel like the weather lately, and I could be wrong, you know, like we've lived here for 11 years now, and maybe I'm just irritated with how unpredictable the weather is. I don't know. Like, maybe that's what it is I'm just like, I've checked out, and I'm just super over the fact that I cannot predict the weather. And actually, that probably is what it is, to be honest. Checking the weather over and over again to see what it's going to be, and then I wake up in the morning and find out that it's 10 degrees colder or 10 degrees warmer, which I don't mind because I don't care for the cold. Or we went from having a 30% chance of rain to now a 90% chance of rain, or a 100% chance of rain to a 30% chance of rain, you know, and And all of it just, I think it's just wearing on me. So that could be why I'm feeling bummed. That might not be the reason, like, that might not be because of Mercury retrograde. I'm stating how I feel because I'm not sure if it's me or if it's like the collective feeling that's, you know, that everyone's experiencing. I'm okay at the moment, but I feel like I'm like so close to feeling anxious again, you know, or like I feel like I'm like right up to that line. But so far, so good. I need to go to the grocery store, and I don't want to go to the grocery store because I don't want to converse with anyone. And I'm trying to think if there's anyone that I know that works at Walmart that knows that I have a channel. Because I don't want them thinking that I don't want to talk to them. There are some workers, actually, you know what, the ones who would know that I have a channel, which I've only loosely mentioned it to one person, he's super cool. So I don't mind if he happened to hop on here and hear this. But there's just like, there's some other ones that I'm just like, you know, where they're so kind and they get so excited to see you. And so it ends up happening that instead of a 2-second, you know, hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Conversation turns into a 10-minute conversation, you know, and I'm just, you know, not in the mood for that today. Maybe it's some sort of social anxiety of mine, or maybe it's the fact that I technically don't even have time to be doing this video. I need to like go get my groceries, come home, and I would like to do my Arctic Fox video today for you guys. And if I can't do it today, I have to do it tomorrow. But do I have time to do it tomorrow? So this is like the things that are going on in my mind. I'm a mental list maker. I don't write things down. Like, I don't write my schedule down, but my mind knows what it is. And I think I drive my husband nuts sometimes because he will mention like making plans, and I'm like, okay, well, when do you want to leave, and when do you think we'll be home, or what time will you be leaving, what time will you be coming home, and or if he's like working on the car, okay, well, what time are you going to start working on it, and what time do you think you're going to be done? But I am just somebody who needs those kind of things. Like, there's just those like little details, you know, just to know. Because again, you know, the one thing I like to control is time, or to have control of, or some control of, is time. I understand that, like, I can't control whether or not my car breaks down in the middle of the road, and however long that's going to take for me to get back home, or to get a tow truck, or for it to get fixed. I get that. But, like, in little things, you know, like, gives me, like, a sense of security to know, okay, you know, I'm going to be leaving at this time, I'm going to be coming home at this time, and I'm going to do my video, and then by that time, my kids will be coming home from school, and, you know, and then we've got to have dinner, and then we're going to have church activity, and blah, 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 you know, like those kind of things. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. So I had a dream. I want to say it was, today's Wednesday, I guess it was Monday? Yeah. Monday again was like another one of those like doomy, gloomy days. It was overcast as well. So I had a dream, and I thought I would talk to you guys about it because it's kind of weird. Like, it's just kind of weird. So I was driving home from the gym, and I'm driving southbound towards my house, actually. And I was right by my house, like ready to pull into my neighborhood. And before I pull into my neighborhood, I look over to my left to the horizon, and I see the moon. But the moon is like super huge. And I'm not saying like, you know how the super moon was like a little bit bigger, like 30% bigger than the regular moon? This thing was like freaking huge, like Hollywood size huge. Like way, like right over, like half of it was over the horizon. And then behind it was another moon. Or maybe a planet. No, it looked like another moon. And that one was like the average size of a full moon. And both of them were full moons. And I'm driving down and I'm looking at this. And I get worried about my mom. And I'm like, oh no. What if mom sees this? I don't know why I thought that. I'm just adding that in there. I was like, what if mom sees this? This is going to make her really worried. And I drive into my neighborhood, and I find like a bunch of people standing outside. and I find my friend. And I go up to my friend and I'm like, do you see this? Of course, of course everyone's seeing this, but everyone's looking at it. And I go up to him and I say, can you believe this? Look at this. And his words were, yeah, when everyone finds out what this is, they're going to flip. And meaning he knew exactly what everything was. Like, I meant to ask him what that other moon's name was, because I just knew that he knew, because he's smart like that. And so we're looking at it, and he said, yeah, they're like, when people find out what this is, they're going to flip. Like, finally something's going to be exposed, or something to that matter. But yeah, you know, and it was overcast like it is today, but it almost seemed like maybe it was so overcast because of the moons. I don't know. Like, it just seemed kind of, anyways, it just had a weird feel to it. The dream had a really weird feel. So that was interesting. So I woke up to that and I was like, wow, that was a trip. Usually I'll have like regular average dreams about average things, going to meetings, you know, driving in my car, going to family gatherings, whatever, you know, like average things that everyone does. But I usually, like, I've never had, or at least if I have, it's been a freaking long time. I have not had a dream about, you know, anything like universal like that, like what's going on in the universe, like two moons showing up, or the regular moon being so close to the earth and then a little moon being behind it, you know. So I thought that was interesting. Thought I'd mention that to you since it happened during Mercury retrograde. You know how I give you guys a video and I say what I learned this Mercury retrograde? And at this moment, you know, today, well, it was more like today and yesterday, I realized I get really tired with having to, what's the word? Like, explain myself away. You know, like, I'll talk to people and then I'll start explaining my feelings, and then I will stop myself and then say, well, I understand that, you know, the reason why I feel this way could be because of blah, 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 blah. Or maybe the reason why this person treated me this way was because of blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm always putting the other person or the other situation before how I feel. These past couple days, like, I was in prayer, actually. I was driving to the gym and praying. And you know, I was talking about my feelings, and then I stopped myself again, and I was like, and I'm sure that the reason for this is because, and then I was just like, I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of like giving everyone else or everything else precedence before saying like how I feel. Like, why can't I just be like open and honest with a person and say how I feel without worrying that I'm going to be judged for what I say? You know, or for feeling how I feel. Because, you know, I talk to many people, of course, and I have many exceptionally wonderful friends who have very pure and good hearts. And when they come to me and they say, you know, I'm angry about what this person did to me, or I'm sad because this situation happened, or this is a stupid thing that's going on, I never judge them for it because they have such pure hearts. You know, there are those that, like, you can tell are judgmental or whatever, and they just don't have that purity. And I worry I come off like that. Like, I'm just being like judgy or mean or arrogant or something like that. And I know that, well, I mean, I want to believe that I know. See, again, here I'm cutting myself off. That I have a good heart, and I understand that situations happen for a reason, and that people do things for a reason, and that we learn crap for a reason. And so I'm frustrated over the fact that I say something, but before I can finish it, I'm justifying why that might be, or Or in a sense, maybe trying to tell myself to quit feeling that way, which is unfair to me. And I think it stems from childhood or from, adolescence, and early adulthood, where I would express my feelings towards someone or a situation, and then the person I'm talking to will say, well, don't you know that that person's going through this? Or don't you know you had to do that because in order for you to do that, this had to happen? Or I'll look back in hindsight and go, wow, I was really mean to think those things or to say those things, because I didn't understand at the time, and how terrible I am for being so judgmental or for being so narrow-minded, kind of a thing. But I feel like, I've gone through a lot and have learned a lot, and my intention has never been to invalidate someone's feelings or to judge someone or to gossip about anyone, at least, especially not these past 7-8 years. It's not my style. I've been I've seen the light, I've seen the error of my ways, and I want to move forward always as a student and with the hope to improve every day. So when I come to people or to God even, and I'm venting about feelings that I'm frustrated with, feelings that frustrate me, I don't like being angry. I don't like being sad. I don't like being irritated. I don't like being confused. I don't like any of those things. And yet I want to be able to say it and not be viewed negatively for it. So maybe I should just quit with worrying about what people think. And I don't worry about what people think. That's what's weird, is I don't worry about it. But I guess I want to show that I understand all sides of the story. And I have a friend here who says, I look at everything like a Rubik's Cube. It has at least 6 sides to it. And I thought, yeah, I completely understand that one, so it's hard for me to even voice, oh, I'm frustrated, oh, I'm confused, oh, I'm sad, oh, I'm, whatever, because already my mind is going through the 6 different sides as to what could be going on, as to why I'm feeling this way or whatever. So that's something that's frustrating at the moment. So that's it. Work is going great. Great. I love my team. I think they are amazing. All of them have amazing qualities that I know and I hope that will rub off on me, that I can learn from. I met a lady there who as well suffers from religious trauma syndrome. The things she would tell me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, but it was so wonderful. I wasn't supposed to cry. It was wonderful to be understood. Tender feelings, I feel like the older I get, the more I let my feelings stay real close to the to the surface, so that when something touches my heart, it's just out comes the tears. And I think that's part of the healing process, the things that I had to go through. I look back and I did everything with the best of intentions, and I tried my best to be good, and I know I failed. I still fail, but it was never, ever healthy for me to repress as much as I did. That's something that makes me really sad, is looking back at how much I repressed my feelings, and how much things would be different today if I voiced the pain. But I didn't have courage back then, so I guess that's how it works out, doesn't it? But, I guess there's divine timing in all things, and that's okay. I'm happy with where I'm at. So that is everything. I think I'm going to close this out and upload this, because if I thought about doing like little blips every day throughout Mercury retrograde, and then, but this would end up being like probably an hour and a half long, maybe more, because y'all know how I get to talking. So, and right now I'm at like 18 and a half minutes. So, and yesterday's was like 5, 6, 7 minutes. So anyway, that's all. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening, and tell me how you guys are doing so far this Mercury retrograde. If you're feeling anything different at all. Like, this could just be happenstance, all these things. Like, there's nothing like real big so far that I've experienced, unless it is the whole me needing to express how I feel without cutting myself back or holding myself back from truly expressing. You know, we'll see how I feel about that in a week or two. So anyways, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so I just got done at Walmart. So you remember me talking about how there's a couple employees that I'm pretty cool with, and one that I loosely mentioned my channel to, that like, I don't mind if I see him. Well, sure enough, I see him. You know, I run into him in the bread aisle, and I was like, hey, how's it going? And he goes, you know what? I knew you were gonna come. And I said, yeah? And he goes, no, I like felt you about 30 minutes ago. And I'm sitting here going, you know, in my mind, I'm like, well, I was like talking about you just a few minutes ago, like on my channel. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, I knew you were gonna come. And it's like, funny, I see you here now in the bread aisle. And he goes, you know, that's one of my gifts, he said. Like, that's one of my talents. And I said, that is a gift. You have a gift of intuition. And I said, that's really cool. But I didn't want to say like, oh, I was thinking about you too. You know, I don't know. I should have, because he's really cool. He's a cool guy, you know, so I don't think it would be awkward. But like, I don't know. I worry about awkward conversations, but I thought I should have told him I was thinking about you too, you know, but instead in my mind I was thinking, yeah, I was telling my YouTube channel about him, you know. But anyway, so I thought that's cool. So you know, as we walked away, I was like, I love it. I love hearing stories like that. And I do. I love hearing stories where people connect spiritually, or that there is that inkling of intuition that happens, you know, or those moments when someone says, I thought about that person and then they called me. I love those stories, because it just reminds me of the magic that's in this world. And I like that. I like chasing that magic, chasing that spirituality, and, you know, and it makes things fun and spontaneous, and those are like the little happy coincidences, happy moments in our life. So anyways, I thought that was cool. So you know what? If you have a feeling, like if you have a hunch, you know, follow it and see what happens, you know, or if you get like a visual of something, you know, see what happens. And if you want to like test your spiritual abilities, you know, maybe talk to a friend and just say, hey, you know, I want to try some things out. Do you care if like I try some things out with you and see how things work? You know, like I've read of people who will get their best friend or someone they feel really close to, and they will do things like send each other like messages, you know, like telepathically, and they'll see how well the other one is receptive, or how well the other one can pick up or see or hear what the friend is saying. And so those are all fun things. But I thought that was really cool that this guy was like, I felt you just a few minutes ago, and now here you are. And so that's cool. Those are like the coolest things. So maybe next time I see him, maybe I'll tell him, okay, you know, I thought about you, but I didn't know if that would be weird to say that. But anyways, I haven't come to this Walmart for a couple weeks because my hair is just adorable, isn't it? I had it up in a clip, and I guess I had it up too long because now there's like this line. Oh no, I had my hair up in a ponytail. That was what it was. Anyway, I haven't gone to this in a couple weeks because just because it just hasn't turned out that way. But there's a few things I needed to get here because they have them stocked here and they don't at the other Walmart. So so I thought that was funny that he felt me not being there for a couple weeks. So yeah, that's cool. I love knowing that there are people out there who are aware of their spiritual capabilities and their spiritual gifts. Like, That's like so cool. Anyway, and I think a lot of us have spiritual gifts that we dismiss because our eyes tell it to us differently. And I'm going off on a tangent. Maybe I should stop now. But, you know, they say seeing is believing, and that's how we are. Like, we want to see things to believe things. And that's like, but that's like a detriment as well to have that thought that we have to see it to believe it. I am definitely flawed in the sense that I am very much the same. I'll get a hunch about something, and then I'm like, all right, now I want to see it, you know, and we have to remember that our heart will feel things, or we'll see things, or we'll sense things, or we'll like just know things. And just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not true, right, real, or whatever. So, you know, don't kick yourself down if your eyes are telling you something differently. I'm trying to think if I should say any more about it, or if I should like make that for a completely other video. But anyways, so I'll let you guys go for realsies now, and you guys have a good day. Bye.